Now I'm here in sunny California to test drive a car, a special one, because I'm here at the Laguna Seca track. So obviously you know this is going to be something fast and quick. Well, it's the second production car to be totally conceived, engineered and developed in-house Mercedes-AMG. Yes, this is the AMG GT. Now it's the successor to the SLS, promises to be sharper and better. Well, we've got a track and some great roads to find out if it is.
The AMG GT is a scene stealer, and it left a trail of gaping jaws on our drive through Frisco and its surroundings. We had a time picking ours off the floor when we first saw it. The SLS successor shares some of its DNA, which is recognizable in the long nose and the squat proportions. But other than that, the curved surfaces are more flowing, and the roof rolls over, melding into the rear tailgate that houses a very reasonably sized 350-litre boot. It's shorter, as wide but taller than its predecessor, and gone are the gull wings. Instead, you get frameless doors. The aggressive AMG-style front and the latticed vents hint at the power that's underneath, and it's a striking fastback body design that will definitely turn heads.
So it's a really nice racy black and red interior. Looks very, very sports car on the inside. But on the flip side, it looks like everything has been well thought through. Interior is beautifully crafted and planned. I love the simple touches in here, like the little embossed logo, AMG logo, the carbon fiber bits on the dials and on the doors, the circular AC vents that are so typical Mercedes, and there are actually 6 of them on the front dash. Equipment, well, it's on tap.
The attraction begins from the moment you slide into those low seats and hold the flat bottom steering in your hands. It's a cockpit-like design with the touchpad sitting on the central console, which is surrounded by beautifully crafted knobs. Lesser switches are housed atop the roof, on the center continuing the aviation theme. From the smell of the leather to the feel of the switchgear, it reeks of quality. And like a magnet, your hand is drawn to the power button. Start up and your aural senses get delighted by the sound that fills the cabin. As the engine settles into the gruff growl of idle, it tempts you to fully flex your right foot. It took all my willpower to start off without flooring the throttle.
So initially on the inside, when you get behind the wheel, bonnet line is high, it's extremely long in front, and here out on the open roads in America I'm fine. But try driving this in India and it's going to be a bit difficult, I guess.
The car extends itself in front of you, and when you first get behind the wheel, you will watch the corners. But it's really a matter of time. Soon you realize how easy it is and how it wraps itself around you. In a matter of minutes, you're whipping up a storm, the oral drama egging you on further.
The engine really nice and strong. From the word go, there's this massive wave of torque that you can ride all the way to the 7,000 RPM line. Very, very punchy. And the gear shift's also lightning quick. So driving this car can be a whole lot of fun.
The car comes with 2 power options, the GT, which has 456 bhp and 61 kgm of torque, and the GTS, which I was driving, offering 503 bhp and 66.22 kgm of torque. They're compelling numbers that feel far better out on the road. It's a wonderfully linear power delivery with really no lag and great low-end response. The beauty really is the flexibility of the engine throughout the range. Put pedal to metal and it's happy to rev right through to the 7,000 RPM red line from almost any speed.
So there's different modes that you can drive it in. You have comfort, you have sport, sport plus, and there's even a mode called race, which really opens out the flaps. And you hear that soundtrack? Makes it sound really like a NASCAR. And on comfort, it actually closes the flaps, mutes the exhaust, so when you're cruising out on a highway, it's extremely easy. Suspension settles into a softer mode. So It's really nice to drive whether you want to drive it hard or just simply cruise out on a highway.
When I talk of opening the flaps, I mean the exhaust. You could either close the flaps to muffle the audio track when you want to cruise comfortably, or open them up to get a furious bellow out of the tailpipes that's music for your ears. The performance is backed up by a 7-speed gearbox that shifts quite seamlessly and heightens the response in Sport Plus. Around the Laguna Seca track, which we got to experience in the AMG GTS Edition 1, the race mode seemed to do the job without me having to lunge at the paddles. The shifts were quick and accurate, cogs shifting with a deftness that allowed you to make full use of the power. Cracking the 100 barrier in just 3.8 seconds, the GT pins you to the back of your seat as you fly down the straight, the speedometer eating digits with an eagerness that's exciting.
The steering, razor sharp, points the car exactly where you want to go. Slight deflections change the direction of the car. It feels very go-kart-like in its nature. It's very, very sharp.
That's the fun with the AMG GT. It's so precise, it never scares you. The engine that's placed well behind the front axle offers up great weight distribution, and as a first, Mercedes are using active hydraulic mounts to minimize engine movement under load and optimize handling. Optimized they have. The AMG GT eats up the corners, changing directions in an agile manner and never letting go. So much so that you're tempted to push beyond your limits, and even then, it brings you back with ease. You can dive into an apex, and the traction with which it pulls you out of corners is a thumbs up to the taut chassis. Yes, that tautness will have its side effects in Indian conditions, where even in comfort mode, the ride will let our roads filter through more than necessary. But this is a car that you buy for the thrill and the drama, not the ride quality.
Well, you can see by the grin on my face that it's been a fabulous day. It's been great fun driving this car. Sure, on paper, it's not really the SLS. Gone are the gullwing doors. The dimensions are different. The power is less. But once you're behind the wheel of this car and you just feel the way it drives, it's in no mean a lesser product. It's sharp to drive. The steering is really, really exceptionally quick. Performance is great. And the beauty about this is that you can cruise comfortably down the highway or drive it like a mad hat around the track and have equal amounts of fun. Well, I think it's going to be a really worthy competitor to the likes of the F-Type Coupe and the Porsche 911.